You're gonna travel with your gear, you're gonna keep it safe, thanks to the Get Crafty hacks and tips. Hello photographers, my name is Christina Craft. Hey photographers, welcome to another episode of Get Crafty Photographers. My name is Christina Craft and I created this YouTube series to share advice, tips, and hacks that will change your life. Did I say I'm Christina Craft? Okay. In past episodes, we've focused on specifically photography hacks, shooting, capture, that kind of thing. Today, I'm going to share some hacks around travel. I have been traveling as a photographer for the last 10 years, hauling that gear bag around all over the damn world. And man, I've, knock on wood, managed to avoid any incident and managed to keep my gear completely safe. Knock on all the wood, knock on it. Now that's probably because I am over the top, hysterically paranoid about protecting my gear. So I'm going to share with you the 10 hacks that you can use to travel with your gear and keep it safe. Here's a scenario for you. You've got a connecting flight and the flight that got you to that connecting flight was late. You're the last person to board the plane. They're about to shut the gate and they tell you the flight is full. Sorry ma'am, the flight is full.
The flight is full.
We're going to have to check your bags. So what do? It's not ideal, but that's why I carry around a lightweight $10 fold up. It'll fold right into like a baggie kind of thing, a bag that will actually hold my gear. I also have these soft pouches around all of my gear, which protects them anyway. Then I take my gear out and I repack it and I put it all in the bag and then I give them my carry-on and I say goodbye to my carry-on, but I'm not saying goodbye to my gear because it's in my lightweight bag. This is not ideal. This is for emergency situations only, but I've had to use it on more than one occasion, so it does help. Okay, you know how you're at the airport or even in a hotel room and there aren't enough sockets to plug your stuff in? So what do you do to charge your phone and your computer? Wham, just bring one of these. Problem solved. 10 bucks, $5 maybe. Your neighbor might like it too. If you have to take a taxi, keep your gear bag with you at all times. There is a scam in some places, not every place, but there is a scam where sometimes taxi drivers will stop. They recognize that you've got something expensive. They might know the word low pro or something like that. And you've stopped. They have sent a signal to one of their buddies. They pop the trunk, bam, your stuff's gone. And you know, you've stopped in some big city street or something. If you feel safe and you're on some big shuttle bus or something like that and you have to give up your gear bag, do not exit that taxi until the driver actually exits the taxi. They might just accidentally forget that you have something in the trunk of the car. So do that and your gear will be with you at all times. Right, Lily? Now here's a scenario. You're staying at a hotel. The cleaning person has your door open and they're cleaning and they realize, oh my goodness, I forgot a towel. So the cleaning person goes to the closet down the hall or maybe on another floor and goes to collect the towels and the sheets or whatever else that person needs. And guess what happens? Your door is open and anybody can steal your stuff. Now I'm not saying that the cleaning person is necessarily going to steal your stuff, just that, you know, you can never be too sure. And that's why I always put a do not disturb sign on my door at all times. No one gets in my damned hotel room. Not you, and not them, and not them, and not me. Oh no, I get in. I get in the hotel room. Lily can go too. And my friends can come if I invite you. But otherwise, do not disturb. See this key? It's for the in-room safe at your hotel room. And guess what? This key will open up every single in-room safe at the entire hotel if it's made by the same manufacturer. This isn't always the case. Sometimes they've got better in-room safes. And yes, sometimes there's the digital numbers and there's all kinds of different safes. But generally speaking, if it's a more affordable or economy hotel, they've probably got a pretty standard safe. And even with the little numbers, you open it up with a key. If there's one key can open up every single safe, then guess guess what? If I get a hold of this key, if I'm a thief and I've stolen it from the hotel staff or something like that, I can get in your in-room safe. Scary, right? And you know, of course, sometimes hotel rooms don't have safes. Introducing a few very lightweight things I bring along to travel, because even sometimes there's no in-room safe at all. If you're in the middle of nowhere, I like to go to the jungle towns and stuff like that. So how this little puppy works, it's called the Sentry Safe, and I love it because it will hold a hard drive or two, especially those little travel hard drives. Attach it around something fixed, close and lock your safe. Voila. I realize this seems like a pretty weak, insecure solution, but the thing is, you've just slowed down a thief, and most times they're just in your room really fast to get something, and then they're running. They're not gonna spend a lot of time trying to pull stuff apart. The other thing to do is maybe hide it under your clothes too, right? And this baby I love. It's called the Pack Safe. And it also, you know, at first when I bought it, I thought, oh, that's not gonna keep things very safe. Like anybody could cut it open, blah, 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 blah. But it's got this coil mesh on the inside. It has a really sturdy canvas that's really hard to cut into. When you hook it onto something very sturdy and attach your lock, that sucker ain't going nowhere. And you can put your gear in it. You can get them bigger as well, so you can put more camera stuff or even your laptop in it. If you happen to be at a place with really poopy Wi-Fi, and you're worried that you don't have a backup way to store your stuff on the cloud, all you have to do is create a brand new Lightroom catalog. Don't use the same one that you always used. You're gonna create a brand new one. You'll make a compressed file. There's a lot of different ways you can make a compressed file. Zip it, RAR it, and then you just send it up to the cloud, whether that is Dropbox or whatever other solution you happen to have for your cloud. You just send it on up to the cloud. Now, it's not the best solution, but what you've done is, by creating a Lightroom catalog and making standard size previews and, more importantly, smart previews, you've created DNG files. And those are not quite as good as RAW, but they're almost like RAW. So what you've done is you've now saved on the cloud a bunch of RAW files that if anything happens to your images, you've got them saved somewhere else. Voila! 911, it's too hot. It's too hot in Costa Rica. I'm sweating to death. Did you know you can get really cheap SIM cards and data in most countries outside of North America? For $20 in Costa Rica and in Guatemala, I got a SIM card and enough data and phone service to last me a month. You'll want to get your phone unlocked before you leave the country so you can stick that SIM card in. Find out how to stick the SIM into your given phone model, because as we know, some of the Apple products don't permit you to add a SIM card. So find out how to do that and then get a SIM card in that country, and you will then have data and phone service in case of an emergency. Too much water in my pool. If you're driving, preload a map, or I like WAZE, W-A-Z-E. You'll want to have one of those gizmos that will hold your phone on the dashboard, because if you're in an unfamiliar place, you don't want your phone sliding around. You certainly don't want to be looking at the map on your lap. So I pack a travel one with me. If you happen to be traveling for work, make sure you have a force majeure in your contract. This will protect you in case that there's an earthquake or any kind of natural disaster, or some sort of insurgents or uprising or change of government that's like evil. That way you are protected in terms of only having to return the money that's already been spent on you. And if anything happens and you don't feel safe in the country and you no longer want to be there because there was a big disaster, a nuclear spill or something like that, your client can't make you stay in the country and they can't make you travel for it. If something really terrible has happened, that's a force majeure. Just make sure that force majeure thing is in your contract and you're good to go. Force majeure. All right, so this is something you need to do before you leave your home country. You need to tell the customs office what gear you're taking out of the country and will be, more importantly, bringing back into the country, because they don't want you to be buying gear abroad and then bringing it into your country and not paying duty or taxes on it. So what you have to do is, if you don't live in a town where there's a port or a customs office or a major international in and out place, you'll want to you arrive at the airport a day before your flight, you'll want to work with the customs office. They'll give you, in Canada, it's called an identification of articles for temporary exportation. They will go through all of your gear, they'll write down your serial numbers, and that way when you fly back to your country, then you've got some evidence that you purchased and own your goods before you left. You bought it in your own country. The same is true whether you're traveling from England, from Australia, New Zealand, wherever it is you happen to be leaving from. So there you have it, folks. The 10 things you can do to keep your gear safe when you travel. If you like this video and you found these tips useful and you think you might use them, I would so appreciate it if you would like and subscribe and share. Please share with anybody who travels with their gear. This is a brand new photography show and I so appreciate all the positive vibes. And if you happen to be traveling with your gear and you've taken some killer travel photos, please hashtag your photos on social media with Get Crafty Photographers. I would like to go and check them out. And as always, if you'd like to pick up some more nifty tips, tricks, techniques, and hack, please come on over to getcraftyphotographers.com. There's a whole whack of information on there for photographers, regardless of what you shoot. I happen to shoot weddings, but this stuff applies to anything. So that's it, another episode of Get Crafty Photographers. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What's a travel song? You can go your own way. Travel hacks with Get Crafty. You can fly, you can take the bus, you can take a cab, you can drive. Travel, folks, explore that big old bad world out there and let's see your photos. Yeah.